Hi, this is Sharon Gill, and by now you have gotten through 2 letters of the word gorgeous. The first one being G, goal-oriented, and now you should be almost done with the letter O, on fire women. And I'm hoping that by now the Lord will have already begun to have worked in your hearts and maybe in your minds, and maybe rekindled some of the old fire you may have had for Him, or set ablaze some new fires. By now I'm hoping that you're beginning to formulate an idea of what God could be calling you for, and also be willing at this point to take a step of faith. Today we're going to discuss the answers to the fill in the blanks, and as we go through, I'm just going to make a few points. The first fill in the blank is you must be available and obedient to be used by God. That's a big thing, ladies. If you notice the life of Mary, young Mary is 14 years old. When the angel came to her and gave her the proposal, what she said was, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said." That's availability and that's willingness. It was the same thing with Anna. She was available and she was willing. And Mary Magdalene, she was grateful as well as available and willing. The next fill in the blank answer is you must be willing to step out in faith. Now, you know that when God calls us, He doesn't give us the entire plan. He gives us a little bit. He gives us the call. You know, X, I am calling you. Sharon, I am calling you. He said to Abraham, Abraham, I'm calling you to go to this great city. And pretty much that's it. You know, you'll be the father of many nations. The how, the when, the why, that was never discussed. But Abraham knew that the Lord was calling him. And it's the same way in your own life, ladies. You know if God's calling you. It's usually when you don't want to do something because it seems too hard, it seems impossible. But if you remember what the angel said to Mary, with God, all things are possible. The third fill in the blank is you must be willing to take risks. Anything that you're going to do for God is going to come with some risk. But you have to remember that whatever God calls, He provides. Wherever He calls, He provides, and He equips us for. But there is going to be some risk. And you may say, well, is there a risk of failure? Not really if it's a call. Not really. But you're going to have to risk maybe your pride. You may have to risk losing some friends. You may have to risk displeasing some other people in order to please God. So there's going to be some risks involved. The next question, or the next fill in the blank, is you must be willing to sacrifice. I know in my own life, I've had to make sacrifices for a call. But you know what? Whatever I have given up for God, He has repaid double, triple, quadruple. But there will always be a sacrifice. Everyone sacrificed something. Mary, the young Mary, she sacrificed her reputation because she was a pregnant woman who was not yet married. So she sacrificed that. Anna, she sacrificed maybe having another husband. Her husband died when she was pretty much newly married. But then she sacrificed her life really for this particular cause. And so there's always going to be sacrifice, ladies, for you to answer the call of God, for you to be that true on fire woman. The next fill in the blank is the letter E. When you are on fire for God, He will grant you wisdom and favor. Now, it goes without saying, we need wisdom to accomplish God's mission. But really what we also need too is favor. We need the favor of God. Because you see, favor allows people to do stuff for you that they wouldn't normally do. In my own personal life, I pray to God for favor every day, for myself, for my husband, for my kids. I ask God to show people a vision of me that's really through His eyes. Favor allows you to get things you don't deserve because God says so. So, an on fire woman, you want to have God's favor in your life as well as God's wisdom. Now, here's an important thing that you need to know. In number 3, you could miss out on your mission in life. You know, if you go through life without any passion or any fire, you could miss out on your mission. And that would be very sad indeed. Because you don't want to live your life wondering, wow, what if I'd answered to that call, to that nudge that God was putting in my heart? That, my friend, is your mission. And you could miss out on your mission. So be careful of that. And the final fill in the blank is, God will replace you with someone else. God's going to get the job done, ladies, with or without you and me. So he will replace you with someone else. And again, you don't want that. Because when you live your mission for God, you be living your life at the utmost, the way God intended, with purpose, with fire, with passion. So, as you continue this journey, we've gone through, like I said, a couple letters, G and O. We're going to start on R next week. And I'm hoping at the end of this journey that you will have a bigger view of yourself and definitely a bigger view of God. Let's do it.